Our story begins in 1936, when Hitler first encountered Dr. Theodor Morell, a physician with a reputation for unconventional treatments. Morell gained Hitler's trust by treating his persistent digestive issues with a regimen of probiotics, claiming that live bacteria cultures would ease his ailments. This seemingly miraculous relief led Hitler to appoint Morell as his personal physician, a role that gave Morell unprecedented access to the Führer. Morell's status within Hitler's inner circle grew rapidly, much to the annoyance of other Nazi officials. Hermann Göring, in particular, mockingly referred to Morell as the Reichsmaster of the injections. Many in Hitler's circle harbored deep suspicions about Morell's treatments, but any criticisms were quickly dismissed by Hitler himself, who held unwavering faith in his doctor. As time went on, Morell's treatments extended beyond digestive problems. Hitler suffered from chronic throat irritation and sinus congestion, conditions exacerbated by his rigorous public speaking schedule. To alleviate these symptoms, Morell prescribed powder cocaine, applied directly to Hitler's nasal passages, to clear his sinuses and soothe his throat. This wasn't unusual for the time. Cocaine was widely used for medical purposes in the early 20th century. However, it is debated whether Hitler began using it more frequently than necessary. Some sources suggest he may have enjoyed the stimulant effects beyond its intended medical use. This raises an important question. Was Hitler a habitual drug user or merely an over-medicated leader? One of the most controversial claims is that Hitler was addicted to amphetamines, particularly Pervitin, a methamphetamine widely used by German soldiers during World War II to enhance performance and endurance. Some accounts, including Norman Ohler's book Blitzed, Drugs in Nazi Germany, argue that Hitler was heavily dependent on amphetamines, and that this dependence intensified as the war turned against him. Ohler asserts that, by the final years of the war, Hitler's erratic behavior, paranoia, and physical deterioration were a result of amphetamine withdrawal. Reports claim he suffered from extreme tremors, delusions, rotting teeth, kidney failure, and even psychosis. However, not all historians agree. Other medical analyses of Hitler's records suggest that while he did receive amphetamine injections from Morell, it was not necessarily habitual or addictive. They argue that his physical decline may have been due to Parkinson's disease rather than drug withdrawal. By the last years of the war, Hitler's health had visibly declined. His shaking hands, sunken face, and weakened voice were evident in footage from his final public appearances. While some argue these were withdrawal symptoms from amphetamines, others attribute them to his high-stress lifestyle, poor diet, and possible neurological conditions. Morell's medical records show a list of over 90 different medications Hitler was taking by 1945, ranging from opiates to barbiturates to amphetamines. With such a cocktail of drugs, it's no surprise that Hitler's mental and physical condition was rapidly deteriorating. But does this mean he was an addict? Or was he simply a heavily medicated leader at the mercy of an overzealous physician? While Hitler's drug use is debated, there is no doubt about the addiction of one of his closest allies, Hermann Göring. A decorated fighter pilot in World War I, Göring suffered a serious hip injury that led him to be prescribed morphine, a highly addictive painkiller. His dependence on the drug escalated, turning into a full-fledged addiction. By 1923, after sustaining another injury during the failed beer hall putsch in Munich, Göring's morphine use became uncontrollable. He entered a Swedish mental hospital in 1925 for detoxification, but his addiction persisted. When he was captured at the end of World War II, he was found to be addicted to dihydrocodone, a synthetic opioid. Göring was forcibly weaned off the drug while in custody, and his withdrawal symptoms were noted by his Allied captors. Unlike Hitler, whose addiction remains a topic of debate, Göring's reliance on morphine was undeniable and significantly shaped his life and behavior. So, was Hitler a drug addict? The truth is complex. While it is clear that he was frequently medicated, receiving cocaine for his sinuses, amphetamines for energy, and various other drugs for pain and ailments, there is no definitive proof that he was an addict in the modern sense of the word. His reliance on medication may have contributed to his declining health and erratic behavior, but whether it reached the level of dependency remains disputed. On the other hand, figures like Hermann Goering were unquestionably addicted, with well-documented struggles with morphine that persisted throughout his life. The role of drugs in Nazi Germany is a fascinating and underexplored topic, shedding light on the inner workings of the regime and the potential impact substances may have had on major historical events. The truth, it seems, will remain a mystery, and we can only imagine what effect Hitler's drug use had on the outcome of history's most destructive war.